So when you make this list, you're cold calling people.
We do.
So you cold call people, and how easy is it to get a hold of the owners? Because this is interesting. There's a lot of folks out there that really rely on intermediaries and so forth to bring their deal flow, and they're actively looking to build their own proprietary
Yep.
process. So I think this is a key part of this interview to learn
Yep.
from.
Yeah. So we'll reach out. So I'll give you an example. So there's a subset of the motor coach industry that we thought was particularly interesting for a few reasons that I won't bore everyone with. But we sat down, we figured out who the players were in that industry. I had an analyst kind of go through that market, just using Google, using D&B, using free tools at our disposal, and figured out the 10 or the 15 players in the market. And we went through their websites, we went through various means to come up with either a phone number or an email for either the president or the owner of the business or anyone we could really get a hold of. And we have a form letter we use. So we put together the form letter. It was addressed to each individual, and we mailed it. Some cases it was physical mailing. In some cases it was an email. And so we sent out 15 in this particular one instance. We sent out 15 notes in this form letter. And we had 4 or 5 people that got back to us. A couple of people said, thanks, no thanks. A couple of people said, yeah, I'm not sure I'm really interested in selling, but I sure would love to talk to you. And maybe there's something we could learn from each other. And then a couple of them said, it's funny you should have contacted me because just the other night I had a dream that I was supposed to sell my business. Like, you get all those sort of types of things. I made that up, but you get those sort of things where just you hit someone at the right time, at the right moment, and they come out of the woodwork as a potential deal that you could execute on. So, and we've done this in multiple cases. This was one specific instance in one specific subset of our industry. But we've done wider canvassing. In some instances, we've sent out 50 or 100 of these letters to operators in markets we want to be in, businesses that we're aware of, people that we know. And then once we establish that initial conversation, a lot of people that do come back and say, well, thanks, but no thanks, I'm not really ready. We just keep them on our list, and maybe in a year's time or in a years and a half time or 2 years time, we'll circle back and say, hey, we had made some initial conversation a while back. How's it going? Let's catch up and see how things are going. And maybe at that time, things in their world have changed and it tickles their fancy to go ahead and explore a process. And then we'll, take it to the next step.